champagne room, Jack.
Let's go! Let's go! Yeah!
It's finally happened. What is going on? We are here. We are live. Nebraska, for the first time since 2016, is going to a bowl game. Jack, how the hell are you?
Great. What a weekend. What a weekend.
Gosh.
I hate that I had to wait for this. Actually, I'm not sad because we had time for Nebraska volleyball to pull off the freaking sweep, the season sweep
Oh my
of
God.
Wisconsin. I mean, just like buzzsaw them, and it completes it. Nebraska athletics weekend. Who would have thought the only game that Nebraska loses of this the 4 games this weekend was the one that Josh was there for.
I was
very sad.
I was on the call for the women's game between Creighton and Nebraska yesterday. If you are hanging out live with us here on YouTube, thank you so much, especially if you are stumbling upon this for the first time. This is the I-80 Club. He's Jack Mitchell. I'm Josh Peterson. We come at you multiple times a week. We did a crazy 2+ hour watch party of the Nebraska-Creighton men's game actually last night. Still available for you on YouTube if you would like to join us. We read comments throughout the pod from people that subscribe to our Discord server. To get there, you got to become a patron at patreon.com/I-80 Club, or you can join us with the super chats, which we have going on now here on YouTube, as Nebraska 44, Wisconsin 25. Jack, what a day. What does it say? The drought is over. That was, in a way, it kind of reminded me of last night where Nebraska suddenly had this really, I guess Nebraska men's basketball kind of dominated for a little bit longer than the football team did, but they made those plays at the end of the first half to go up by 14. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think that they're actually going to do this. I think that they're actually going. And then they did it. They won very comfortably.
Yeah, I was at the game. I was not stressed at any point, particularly I was annoyed, but I wasn't stressed. I would say there's a difference.
Yeah.
I was annoyed when Wisconsin went right down the field and got a touchdown when it looked like Nebraska was about to put it away. But there we go. Hey, we got to break in. We got our first super chat from the BA Coaches Show. And I'm more than happy to read this.
Oh,
Wisconsin, more like Pisconsin. Am I right? Yeah. Let's go. A bunch of annoying ass teams losing to Nebraska in one weekend, in one freaking glorious weekend. Oh,
incredible.
So good. Everybody, we'll delay a little bit. Get yourself a couple of beverages of whatever, whatever type of beverage that you feel like. Get some snacks, right? Whatever it is that you want, okay?
Yeah.
And get yourself all set up because we have an hour and a half of talking about a win, okay?
Talking about a win. Jack, we've been dreaming about this. We said it last night. How many times since we this is the third football season for the I-80 Club. If you're new to the game, we've been doing this for a few years. This was the first year that we've been going on YouTube all the time. And we always said, man, how fun would it be? How fun would it be to do one of these shows after a win over a hated team, after a win that gets them to a bowl, after a win that X, Y, or Z. And we got it last night. We got it as we watched it live together last night. And then we get today against, as BA Coaches Show called them, Pisconsin, against a team that has had Nebraska's
super chat to start off the show.
That has had Nebraska's number since they joined the Big Ten. And they do it, and they do so, again, fairly easily. They just dispatched them. The offense, Jack, looked like it was the Illinois game all over again, except without a crippling loss or a ton of sacks at the end of the game.
I cannot wait to give you my takes. I can't wait to give you my takes.
I can't wait to hear your takes. But we've been waiting for a night like this, and it finally arrived. I mean, it's the greatest 24 hours in I-80 Club history. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is so much
44 points. Is that right? What was the final score?
44-25. 44-25. What a weird score. Is that a Husker Gami? Is Dave?
That's a great. Where's Dave? Dave's got to be here. Dave had to probably finish out the volleyball game.
Can I get Dave Fight in the chat, please? Can I get Dave Fight in the chat, please?
I promised this moment, so let's I have some champagne of beers. Believe it or not, I was only a 6-pack and I have 2 left over, which raises a lot of questions. But
indeed it does.
Nonetheless, I
Indeed
do
it
have.
does.
You have actual champagne. Oh no. Oh boy.
Now, to be fair, it's not actual champagne, because technically, Jack, champagne is only champagne if it comes from the
Champagne
region.
region.
Yeah,
Okay.
of France. Yeah. Indeed,
Oh God,
indeed,
Mickey,
indeed.
what you just said is so true. I said that to Josh earlier. We'll get to that.
We
but-
will? Okay.
Yes.
Oh my
But
gosh. Very strange. Very strange. Pour it in, baby. Pour it on in. Also, I won't be taking screenshots during the pod, so if anybody else wants to help us out with the screenshots, with the random content that pops up,
there you go. Somebody
Please
grab
do.
this right here.
please do let us know. The drought is over. The
You can
drought.
get
I mean,
my
I guess
Harper- you can get my Harper was right shirt too if you want.
Yeah.
There.
There we go. Boom.
Okay.
All right. I got
Whoops, I
one.
got my fingers in my beer. That's not what you want,
Mhm.
probably.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's my drink.
Nice.
Good night.
And so that's how you will be drinking it. I guess I could have put the champagne in a bowl. That would have been a really interesting move from yours truly. Jack, let me read you a tweet as we kick things off to discuss Nebraska's. Jack, they won by 19. I don't know if you saw this. They won by 19.
I was at the game, so I did
against
see
Wisconsin. Let me find
that,
this
Very
tweet.
confusing how to keep this on the front. The way you turn it, I always turn it the wrong direction.
So I think that this is going to
I'm one of
put
those
you.
people drinking coffee with 2 hands when I do this.
I think this is going to put you in a good mood. By the way, we'll also, for those who are hanging out in the chat, who are watching us for the first time, we'll be keeping tabs on the other games. Auburn is up on Texas A&M late in the third, 28-21, and Oklahoma is smashing Alabama 24-3.
I got this Alabama
3.
game on my screen now that the volleyball game is over, but I might have. It's kind of boring. Alabama.
We got to leave it on.
Are they out the playoff?
If they lose, hell yeah, they are. They're not gonna be able to get a good win after this, man. They have Auburn. I guess Auburn is up right now on Texas A&M, so maybe it would be a good win.
That's
all right,
awesome.
Jack. I
That's
want to
also
read you this. I want to read you this comment that I got at halftime from a longtime listener of my radio show. His name is Kyle. He is a Wisconsin fan. I always call him noted Wisconsin fan Kyle.
Okay.
He wrote this because Kyle last week, I should go find the tweet that he had to me last week, Jack, because when the line came out, he responded immediately and said something like, give me Wisconsin by 30 or some shit. I mean, he thought that Wisconsin was going to roll. I wish I could find it fast. Here we go. So I said in 2023, Nebraska entered the Wisconsin game on a 2-game losing streak. Wisconsin entered a game on a 3-game losing streak. 2024, Nebraska enters on a 4-game losing streak. Wisconsin enters on a 3-game losing streak. He responded, Jack, 1 week ago today, 24-10, Wisconsin. Fast forward to halftime of today when Nebraska is up 24-10 on Wisconsin. And Kyle tweeted at me, I'm only one Badger fan, and there is a good chance I'm the only one that cares about this game. But this is the absolute tipping point for me. To be dominated by a team that hasn't beat us in a decade is disgusting. Who cares who's calling the plays? Because it's the same shit. Jack, your thoughts?
It's so nice to hear the other side. The other side. The sort of unreasonable anger. This is the team that's beating us.
Yeah.
All of it is so beautiful. Great. I mean, I couldn't be happier. I mean, I will toast to that.
Yeah, shout out to Kyle. I haven't heard from Kyle since the game ended, but I'm guessing he's having a really bad day.
Josh, among the things that I wanted to talk about, Alabama just scored.
Dude, that catch was sick. Holy shit. Ryan Williams is a beast.
Yeah. 17 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
people forget.
My son is 2 years older than him, to give you an idea. Like 2 years older than him. He's almost my daughter's 14. He's closer to my daughter's age than almost. That's crazy. Think about that. Wow.
Yeah.
Josh, so much was made 2 years ago at this time, or a little less than 2 years ago at this time, with the concurrent hiring of Matt Rule and Luke Fickell, right?
Yes.
And
people wanted Luke Fickell around here.
He was on the top of my list.
Yeah.
I mean, Lane Train was at the top of my list. list. Luke Fickell
Yeah.
was number 2. But so much was made at that time. Oh, we're always going to be evaluating, right? One versus the other going forward in this whole thing. And it's going to be this, who's going to get out to a quicker start? Who's going to be the better hire? And isn't it remarkable that after 2 years, you wouldn't say either of them are doing well, but Nebraska appears to be in a slightly better spot right now after that game. Yeah. But neither of them, like, it's crazy. Neither of them are in a good spot, but holy crap. Like the Luke Fickell thing, man, it is.
And you know, there's
going as poorly, and I wanted that guy. Like, I wanted him. I wanted him for Nebraska, but.
By the way, if someone can help us out here, there was a penalty on Bama that not only Jack took the points off the board, but it's Oklahoma's football now. I don't know. It was something near the bottom of the screen. No, it was. It was 4th down, but okay. I don't know what the penalty was that would have resulted in it just straight up not even being a redo, illegal touching. Illegal touching.
He touched his face mask, it looked like maybe for a second.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yikes.
But Jack, going back to Fickell and Wisconsin, like one of the things about them and their change in terms of their offensive coordinator, for them to fire Longo and to move on from Phil Longo, like it's a part of the story of Wisconsin football in the last 2 years, and that is like going outside of the family, bringing in this newfangled fancy offense, and like the failure was not Longo. In my opinion, the failure was what Longo represented. Whereas like Marcus Satterfield as an OC doesn't represent something beyond just a coordinator. He wasn't a change of the guard, if you will, for what Nebraska had been running for a long time. And I know that, and I've done it. We've made the comparisons of Callahan to Fickell. We've beaten it to death. But there is, in my opinion, there is something very real about that. And how this represented a changing of the guard, trying to do it a different way because they viewed the old way as stodgy. They viewed the old way as something they had to move away from. And in my opinion, that's why they didn't hire, what's his name, a couple of years ago, Leonard. After they fired, when they could have. So pretty fascinating that they do that. And so I'm with you. Like both programs, obviously not a great place. Nebraska is going to a bowl game. Wisconsin's going to have to win in their last week to guarantee one. But dude, the vibes in Madison this week were atrocious. You know, even more atrocious in my opinion than Nebraska. And I wondered if that was going to play a part. And even though in the end I picked Wisconsin, you know, Nebraska just whooped their asses today is what they did. They kicked their asses up and down the field.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the Wisconsin thing is super interesting, Josh, because you've got some things that sort of factor in it that even make it more toxic than what's happening at Nebraska. One of which is going away from the old offensive thing, which Nebraska has done. Like we're veterans, knowing what that is like from years ago. Yeah. And like not staying true to the moorings of the program. And then the other one is like the whole Jim Leonard thing, right? Like that's the other part of it is like we drove out. Can you imagine all of the like old traditionalists at Wisconsin? They've been pissed from the beginning, right? Haven't they?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
About both of those things. And so they're on the verge. They've been like anything would make them pounce. I know what that's like. We know what that's like here. And now they've got all the reason in the world to, because like, I don't know, at least Nebraska has Dylan Raiola, right? I mean, like, what is Wisconsin? What do they got exactly right now?
Isn't that the question right now, Jack? Is like, what if you are a Wisconsin fan? What are you holding on to hope about? What are you positive about as a program right now? And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is if I'm a Wisconsin fan that I'm feeling good about with the future right now. And at least Nebraska at this moment in time has Dylan Raiola. And so like that's going to play a pretty massive part in everything.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah. Not great. Not great.
So I thought that was really interesting because I remember thinking when they both got hired, I was like, there's always going to be this comparison between those two. It's always going to be this like, and of course at the time I thought, man, Fickell's going to be really good. He's going to be such a good coach. And, you're always going to feel like you never quite measure up to what he did. And
took a G5 team to the playoff, man. Took a G5 team to the playoff. And now, I mean, like, I don't think he's going to get run out of town. But, Jack, I mean, if we woke up next Sunday and we found out that he was fired, would that, like, totally shock you? Would that totally shock you if we found that out next Sunday?
No, because of all the things I just said, right?
Yeah.
Because of all of the built up. Again, it's the Nebraska. It's a combination of the current rule situation, but then you throw in a bunch of Solich Callahan stuff with it too. Yeah. It's both of them put together, I think.
For sure. D'Lo says he's safer now. Bayman says wouldn't shock me at all.
He probably. I think D'Lo's right. I don't think
he'll get fired. I don't think he'll get
probably
fired.
has a big contract. It's the same thing as Rule, but
yeah. Let's get to Nebraska, Jack.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's fine.
That was something I was thinking about today. So
I think this is a good comment from Raider Scott to begin the proceedings. Give Holgorsen the money cannon. How about that offense today? 44 points in the Matt Rule era. Nebraska had never scored more than 24 versus a power conference team on offense. They put up 31, in a couple of games. They scored 28 versus Colorado earlier this year, but it always happened with a special teams play or with a defensive play. Today, every single point, was offensive, if you will. They got field goals, but it was because of the offense. The defense can't give you field goals, right? Every single point that they had was because they either got the ball in good field position or they drove down the field. They scored touchdowns, and they made it look easy at times. They were pressing the easy button with the passes. Dylan Raiola found that early season form where he was leading guys in a much better way. He had a couple of passes I know he wishes he could have back, but for the most part, I thought that he played well. The receivers, for the most part, I thought that they played well. Dave Fightrights, Holgo was in his freaking bag in the second half. He definitely was. And, dude, how about Emmett frickin' Johnson for 200-ish yards from scrimmage, over 100 yards on the ground? The first time, Jack, that a Nebraska running back has had over 100 yards on the ground against a power opponent since your guy, I-Test Anthony, back versus Minnesota in 2022. 2022, Jack.
That's amazing.
Yeah, which we did a watch party for that game too. It was a masterful performance from the offense. Masterful performance for the offense.
I don't know where to start. I have two big points, and we can go down the road with either of them. I'll tell you what they are, Josh. The two big points, and there are plenty of like sub points from that. But the biggest change about the offense from Satterfield to Holgorsen, for whatever reason, is the running game has completely become a weapon, and it wasn't before, and that has impacts for the whole offense. That makes the whole offense way better. So it's great. And I'll say this too. There's a lot of people in the club who have said this. We've probably said it too, Josh. Yeah, the running back room is mid, or there's no good running back. Emmett Johnson is a good running back.
You're ready to say he's a good running back?
He is a good running back. Is he a first team All Big Ten running back? No. Probably not, because he doesn't have the breakaway speed, but he is a good running back for sure. By the way, another BA Coaches show.
Yeah, shout out to BA Coaches show with the super chat.
Holgo, the OCO saved the season. I'll say it. Yeah, I mean, so that's one part of it. And then Josh, the other part I noticed about the offense. So I think we can talk about all of the things that are different.
Yeah.
But to me, by far, that is the thing that is most different and most significant is
the run game.
Isn't it
wild too, Jack?
And I don't even know why. Like, I don't know that he's calling different plays necessarily.
I am happy that you said that. I do want to read these comments from Huss, who writes, "Start by groveling. We were right to pressure Rule to fire Sat." Yeah, shout out to us. Shout out to me and Huss and many others who said that we should talk about coordinator changes in season, because I'd say that it worked out fairly well. In all seriousness, I don't know, Jack, why the running game is so different. This
I don't either. Like, I don't either.
But it
That's
is.
great.
It is. It passes the
eye test.
It's
way different.
Something is happening with the run game where they are able to get these yards. They are blocking so much better. There is so much more room that is available for them to run. And Johnson, dude, he's running better. And, Jack, it's funny. I was looking at his stats after the game, and I'm still, like, surprised at, maybe that's the word, but it's like, look at this. He never has, like, a run that's 30 or 40 yards. His long today was 19. So he's doing it.
Is that right?
It's nuts. He's doing it in consistent chunks where he's able to move. Now, Jordan points out something that I remember really being the thing that was stuck in my craw after the Indiana game. Jordan writes pre-snap motion. Dude, they are moving guys around before the play. On the screen pass where Emmett gained his biggest, it was the biggest play of the game for Emmett Johnson. They move Barney across the field, and the defense is keeping an eye on him, and then they throw to the other side of the field, and that was where Emmett Johnson was. He got incredible blocking from his offensive line, and he was able to hum right on down the field. That has been a game changer in the last two games, is that they are giving the defense something to look at before the play, and I think that is allowing for Nebraska to gain a lot of yards.
Yep, I agree. I agree with all of it. And again, how Emmett Johnson, first of all, it felt like every running play pre-Holgorsen was just, for the most part, was Josh, I don't know. Like, did the offensive line get better? What happened? Like, the offensive line looked really good today.
Yeah.
Like, really? When have we said that?
Yeah, not very much.
It looks really good today. Legit.
Yeah, what have we said the most time or mostly this year, Jack? It's like they've done well enough. They have not been a tire fire. Today they were moving guys. They were pushing Wisconsin all over the field, man. Pushing guys all over the field.
Like Ben Scott's pulling on. I mean, I was impressed by him. The pass pro wasn't always great, but the run, there were still plays, by the way, Josh. They left rushing yards on the field. They still, mainly Dowdell, didn't hit holes. Still didn't hit holes.
Yeah.
Classic. Like, Holgorsen needs to tell him again, hit the hole. But
got good blocking from the edge again. Banks had a really nice block on.
Like, Josh, do you think these are different plays? Like, this isn't about play calling, is it?
What do you mean?
Explanation
in terms
for the
of
running
like the literal plays?
What was the catalyst for the running game to start working exactly?
Well, what do you think about this from Huss? He says, I swear so much of it is a play caller knowing how to stack plays to keep the defense on their heels. That was completely missing that ability.
That
Jack,
could be.
One of the things that Tom Osborne was celebrated for as head coach and offensive coordinator for years was his ability to set up plays in the third quarter, all the way back in the first, to set up fourth quarter plays all the way back in the second. And for years around here, we have wanted Nebraska, and this is not a new point. I made it on Overreaction tonight. This is not a new point. But we have wanted Nebraska to hire a coach who comes in with some bona fides, who comes in who has done something before. They have a former head coach as their play caller now. They have a great offensive mind as their play caller right now. They have somebody who has been in the game at the highest level for years and years and years and years. And there's like a reason why. There's a reason why Holgorsen has stuck around as long as he has. There's a reason why he was a head coach for so many years, because he knows what he's doing. He knows how to set up plays. And I do think that there is definitely, you watch it and it does seem like, oh, wow, that was interesting that it felt like it was built on top of it. And, dude, I thought that he had a great ability to throw when I don't think that they were expecting it, and to run when I also don't think that they were expecting it. There was one play in particular, Jack, that stands out to me. It was like 2nd and 10. It was in the second half, and he ran the ball and he picked up like 6 or 7 yards, and then they got the first down on the next play. Did you see let me find it. There was a stat that they showed, and I wrote it down on my sheet. Dylan Raiola on first down passes. Dylan Raiola was 16 of 18 for 178 yards on first down. So, like, he was totally in his bag in a way where I'm going to call a pass play on first down when you're expecting a run. And I just think that he had them on skates. I think that he was kind of just
maybe that's
able
it.
To do whatever
maybe
he
it's
wanted
that
to do.
simple. Maybe it's and it all feeds into the narrative that you guys were all right. Maybe that's it. And if so, fine, great. I'm thrilled with it. Having a running game is huge. It makes all the difference. It makes all the difference in the world, I think. The other thing, Josh, my other take on the offense, my other biggest take on the offense, is that Dylan Raiola looked physically and mentally like early September, Dylan Raiola, for
He did, man.
whatever reason. For whatever reason.
Yeah, he definitely
He
did.
looked like first 3 weeks of the year to me. And I don't know if do you think it was physical? Like partly physical,
Yes.
Josh?
Yes, yeah. We've talked about it. He has been injured. He has been dealing with an ankle. He has been dealing with a shoulder, and he's been dealing with the back injury that he messed up. That was the UCLA game, right, Jack, when he messed up his back?
Mm.
He has not been healthy, and I know that he has been putting in the time to try to get healthier over the last, however many weeks. I think that played a part in it for sure. He looked unlike anything we have seen from him in months. And Griswold points it out. He also had time today. He did, but there was that one play, Jack, where and it was early. So, maybe it allowed for things to go in a positive direction for the offense. But he stood in the pocket and he waited and he waited and he waited, and the guy was coming up behind him and he hit him pretty much right after he threw the ball, and it was a dart, it was a completion. So, he did get hit a couple of times, but Griswold's right. He had a lot of protection, man. He had a lot of protection today, and I think that also helped him. But he was doing the sidearm stuff. He was pushing the ball down the field. The end zone throws were great.
You're right. Sidearm, the Barney quick slant with the sidearm that he did. There was that. But also, it was just the way he was emoting throughout the game. He was dude, he did the bowling thing after the touchdown. He was pumping up the crowd. He was a different I guess I hadn't been at the games, so maybe I didn't see as much of it as I did today in person. But he seemed to be just in a better headspace completely today. His nonverbal, just his body language, his reaction to things, his wanting to be kind of a leader in celebrating everything, all that was back. All that was back that I remember from early in the year. And I wonder why that is. I don't have the answer, but I really do wonder why that is. The third take I have on the offense, Josh, is that, and the one thing that I have seen in terms of play calling is there are quick passes that other teams always use and Nebraska never has in their arsenal. Quick slants, Barney, the sidearm one. Quick slants, guys who, just get in the hole in a zone and just post up, get open there. And that's the existence of those is so refreshing to me. So refreshing. Just quick passes.
Yep.
Not where pressure isn't even an issue, and you get 5 yards on a pass play. That super short, not behind the line of scrimmage, but super short downfield.
You're advancing
5 yards down the quick slant. I don't know. I say button hook. I don't know if that's what
I know what you mean
anymore,
though.
but yeah. That especially against the zone. It's Nebraska now is using those, and God, they did not have that, or crossing routes. They had a bunch of drag routes and crossing routes. They had a couple of those during the course of the game. There are all these routes where how do you not have those in your arsenal of what you're doing? And it seems like they're using them a lot more. So
yeah, for sure. And dude, that those types of plays are the plays that I felt like UCLA was able to nickel and dime Nebraska to death in, a couple of weeks ago. So to not have to do that, or to use that rather, and to pick up,
you've got to have it.
easy plays. To pick up easy plays,
Josh,
it's so massive.
They were doing it. The offense they were doing without any running game, pretty much, and without that short passing game and they tried to do the entire short passing game with behind the line of scrimmage stuff instead of just quick slant, right? That kind of thing.
And how about this too? How much time did we spend, Jack, talking about who's going to be the secret player? Who's going to be the secret player? There really was no secret player today. IGC came in, which was weird. He got
that was weird.
A couple of times. The tight
I felt
end
terrible. He dropped that ball that he finally got a pass thrown on, but then he made up for it. So
he did make up for it. Fedoni had the false start, and then a lot of people were asking, Jack, and maybe you can help me out. Do you remember seeing him after the false start?
No, he didn't play.
I don't. Yeah,
I mean, unless I missed it, he got. I wondered if he was injured or if he got benched. But
I think he got benched. Because it was after the false start. I think it was pretty obvious that he got
Josh, remember what we were saying last week against USC? They used him like for the first half of the game almost exclusively as an offensive tackle, basically a third offensive tackle in that situation. He was just blocking.
Yep.
You don't, I mean, I'll tell you what I think.
Okay.
I think Holgerson got here and said, I hope he does. I think Holgerson got here and was like, that guy doesn't move the way we need.
Yeah.
Someone.
Why would you throw him the ball on the edges? Why would you get him the ball over?
He doesn't move right. To be giving him the ball.
He has none of the athleticism he was supposed to have because of the injuries. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel for him because I wonder if that's why, but Borkature looks.
Yeah. And Lindenmeyer. Yeah, they both looked way better when they came in and they got involved in it. So
it just like, I don't know, man. I feel bad, but like,
yeah.
Like I can
TW right. Holgo has had enough of Fedoni lining up wrong. Watch how often Dylan has to move him. I think that is the issue. The false start was
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
Back.
I don't know. I thought that's not really my theory, but maybe that's it too. I don't know.
I think
to me, I just think it's. I don't know. Like last week, I thought maybe they think, well, he's a pretty good like pass blocker, so they used him.
He was chipping a lot. He was protecting. They were doing kind of max protect stuff last week, and it definitely helped.
Yeah,
I think his time at Nebraska is definitely coming to an end, though. I feel like that we are near.
I get the feeling he will not be back.
Yes,
that's not based on. I can say that for sure about other people, but that's not based on anything. That's just reading the tea leaves at this point, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I'm guessing that will end up being the case. But yeah, we didn't see it. That was ultimately the point I was trying to make. Was ultimately, Jack, like we didn't see this like new secret weapon, as a freshman or whatever that came onto the field when we first started talking about this. D'Lo said, "Where was Jalen Lloyd?" Yeah, Jalen Lloyd still not.
Lloyd barely played.
Yeah.
Let's see, like Carter Nelson was on the field a ton more today than he had been for a long time.
But he wasn't targeted, right? Was he targeted?
They might have thrown one at him once, but he was not targeted all that much.
Yeah.
So IGC was on the field way more. So Lloyd got fewer snaps. IGC and Nelson got more. And Janiran Bonner, I don't know if I saw Bonner was on a little bit, but not
he was
much.
He was the one who fumbled, right? Was that Bonner who fumbled the little?
That's right. That's right. Yes.
The underhand. And it's funny. I was talking about
that throw was so goofy, but
I thought that was going to be ruled an interception because I didn't really think that he. I
still think it was. Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't get a great replay. I thought. On the PA, Nate said it was a fumble. I was like, that was an interception, wasn't it?
Yeah, they officially ruled it as a fumble. If you go look at Dylan's stats, he does not have an interception today. But yeah, what did the offense do? Well, it just seemed like they targeted the guys that we thought that they would target all season long a little bit more. It seems like Dylan and Nayor still sometimes are not on the same page, right? But he got the ball to Banks. It sucks. The Banks touchdown catch was awesome. The drop was absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. Because I mean, Jack, and that's.
But again, Josh, he underthrew that a tiny bit again. He underthrew it a tiny. Listen, no, I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not. You're right. He should have caught it.
Yeah.
But God, it feels like he underthrows those balls so often, man.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're right, man. I wanted Nair to get one of those touchdowns.
Yeah, me too. He had the one where it's like, how does your left foot not touch the ground? It's like floating there. It's almost like his leg went whoop, and it goes right back up. And for some reason, he didn't score there. But yeah, it just seemed like they were like, let's just go to the guys that we have wanted to go to. And the running game, with Emmett Johnson, like you said earlier, you're ready to say that he is a good running back. He had the best game of his career.
I think I think fans need to quit using the excuse that there's no good running back. Emma Johnson, last year he showed it. Josh, you remember at the beginning of the year we went through Emma Johnson's stats from last year and we were like, he had a higher average than Blake Corum last year.
Yep. Yeah.
Like
I did. Yeah.
And he should have been, I mean, let's be honest. I don't know. the running game was so messed up most of this year. But if things were done right, he should have been the number one back. I like Dowdell coming in as a changeup, as a short yardage back, those sorts of things. But Emmett Johnson should have been the feature back throughout the course of the year. They should have figured out how to use him. That was a mistake. It was a mistake in terms of not focusing on him as the guy and then not having play calling that made that work. That hurt the offense a ton this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
and he had an awesome game. Almost 200 yards, man. Absolutely tremendous. And, when's the last time Nebraska had an offensive performance like that over the course of 4
that dude loves the freaking he's like the guy the first year they added a juke to the PS2 with one of the shoulder buttons on Madden, where I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's not just spin anymore. I can juke. It's like Emmett Johnson just discovered the juke.
I can press that button.
He's like, I can push that. That's
maybe
like,
he got
I
a new
did
controller.
That. Like the first time I played, they
added
added a juke, but like the early days of video games did not have juke. They had dive and spin and like put your head down and truck, but they did not have juke. And then they added that in the late 90s or early aughts to video games. And the first time I tried it, I was like, oh, this is a game changer, man. And that's how Emmett Johnson is every run.
Cam writes, wait, I don't have to just run straight forward into the right guard's ass? Whoa. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to. You can actually, there's all that space. You can run there. Bayman writes, I never understood the lack of love for Johnson. I love me some Minnesota Mr. Football.
Yeah, man.
And he is. I Formation Symphony is the RE 2600. Oh, Lord. Seriously, man, like it's wild what happens when the running back goes where their space is.
Yeah, it's just and the thing with him is still he's just never gonna get you that huge breakaway run. It's unbelievable.
Oh, you see what just happened with Bama? Milroe got smoked and the ball fluttered and floated and then it was picked off.
All right, I'm done. I'm moving on. Yeah. What's the best game right now?
A&M Auburn, Jack. A&M Auburn on ESPN. A&M is down by 4. They have the ball. It's 3rd and 14 with about 7 minutes left in that game.
Boy,
Oklahoma's going to beat Alabama. Alabama's going to get knocked out of the playoff race. And they're going to have
Oklahoma's been so terrible this year.
I know. They're mid as hell, man.
How did they do that? 3 points?
Yeah, not very good. Not very good. If you're just joining us, welcome in. This is the I-80 Club, hanging out on the I-80 Club YouTube channel. We would love for you to like and subscribe, comment. If you want to leave a super chat, we will read it there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we just read the comments from our Discord users who are subscribed to patreon.com/I-80 Club. We have had a rip-rolling time here in the I-80 Club over the last couple of days.
Have you seen on the YouTube chat my
your son's hanging out over there?
My son, he's a Discord member, but he's Johnny. We won't read your chats on the YouTube unless you super chat and pay for it, or unless you put it on the Discord. So.
If he pays with the super chat, technically isn't that like your money though? So you would kind of be paying
like I said, he's 19. He has
money.
Now.
He has real money.
He's got multiple jobs. He's that's his money now. So pay it to me. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. My wife, who's listening from the next room over, who knew that letting your teammates move the opposing team's players out of the way for you could yield positive offensive plays. Yeah, who knew? You move them, you run, you follow them. It works wonders for everybody.
Dude, it's just weird. Like, these are not the things. If you told me things were going to get a lot better under Holgorsen, these are not the things I would have expected, right? Like
that they would be able to run the ball better, that the air raid
running and offensive line quality are honestly they're 1 and 2. I mean, the passing game is a little better, but it's not like there's
tonight was way better, right? Tonight was
I don't know,
great.
It's just not like these crazy whiz bang pass plays that weren't there before.
That's true.
To me, the run game and the blocking is so much better.
Yeah. How about this from JP? I went from just over it a week ago to sad we only have 2 games left.
It is. I get that. Like, I totally get that because, like, there's a whole bunch of things like, like, I wish I could have seen this. I wish I could have seen this where they use Emmett Johnson better. I wish I could have seen the offensive line, right, do this. I wish I could have seen Dylan healthy or whatever it is, him right in the head for an entire season. All of these things, like I totally get that feeling. I've had it too. with this. So
yeah. How many? Okay, so I'm guessing that everybody in here, they're in group chats or chatting Husker football all day long. This question probably came up in some of them. If Dana Holgorsen is the OC all year long, what do they have right now? How many wins do they have?
100.
How many wins is how many wins is Dana Holgorsen worth versus having Marcus Satterfield as a
We're getting ready. We're getting ready to
it's-
host a playoff game in a couple of weeks.
Doesn't it get pretty depressing, when you start thinking about it from that perspective, that like, oh man, they probably beat Illinois, that maybe they beat UCLA. Maybe things just never really go off the rails to begin with and things are going well. But, that's currently where they sit. But I'm with who was that? Was that Jordan who wrote that earlier? I couldn't agree. Oh, it was JP. I couldn't agree more. It's like, oh man, now I kind of wish that there was more games to watch.
I agree.
Because it's
I agree.
intriguing. It's interesting.
We got a bowl game now, though.
I know
we got a bowl game against who knows. We'll talk about that later. By the way, shout out Brendan. Thank you for the super chat.
What's going on, Brendan?
How great is the Day of the Jackal, though? I don't know.
I don't know what that means, Brendan.
I don't have the slightest idea what you mean by that, but thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for the super
chat, Brendan. I don't know what you were talking about, but shout out. Appreciate the support.
Yeah. Oklahoma just picked up another first down. Jack, I think I'm going to turn the channel on that game.
I already did.
I know you did. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now.
You know who was in the – okay, I got to take non X's and O's take. We can get back to that, though. I want to get to the bowl game. I want to get to some other things.
And I got some bowl game intel to deliver on everyone tonight. I got it in between overreaction and doing this pod. So I'll give you a little bit of intel when we get to that.
Okay, I went to the game today.
We've not talked about the defense. Was it the – oh, okay, never mind.
No, we can get back to the defense. But I went to the game today. I sat thank you to – funny enough, we were just talking about me paying my son. My son got us tickets today.
Shout out Johnny.
Typically over the years, I have been the one who has supplied tickets through my workplace to various events, concerts. Josh, you know how it is working for a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ways that they pay you, because they can't pay you money, is through making sure you have tickets to events that you would like to go to. And I have had that.
It's radio life, baby.
Am I wrong?
My parents have very much enjoyed me having opportunities and access to many, many tickets over the years.
Oh,
many concerts on many sides. You're welcome, Mom and Dad. My dad listens to the I-80 Club sometimes. Dad, if you're listening, shout out to you. Hope you and Mom enjoy the next concert I get you tickets for.
My daughter has we joke with my daughter who's 14, and I'm like, have you ever not sat in something that ends in box to go to a basketball game before? So we've had
I've sat there with you. I've gone to Nebraska basketball games with you.
It's a lot of fun.
Seats when we go.
They're very nice. But my son provided me the tickets through a connection of his to the game, and like he was like, we have 5 tickets, so it worked out great because I can take the 4 females in my life who are my wife, my daughter, my sister, and my mom. All of us who went together. So all the way, I'm the only dude because Johnny was sitting in the student section.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is they are like club tickets in the East Stadium, the new club section in the East Stadium.
Whoa, fancy Jack.
That's what I thought.
Not fancy Jack.
I was excited when I heard that. So I was like, sweet, I'm not going to be sitting on tight like benches. The lack of leg room in that area.
So wait, real quick, is this old East Stadium where they put the chairs? Is that where you were sitting? Like the regular balcony where
the East Stadium where there's an indoor there's a suite level.
Yeah,
there are areas, suite areas.
But
you
were
sit.
outside.
So in between, outside, but the club area. So it's the red seats. If you look over
they put those in, but they just scrunched them in to the old area.
It's insane. So like,
yeah.
I mean, I fully admit, like it wasn't my ass or my torso that was the problem.
Yeah.
It was my
your
calves. My legs and my calves.
Did you feel like you had to do the thing where you're like sitting on a subway with your legs spread really far?
Yes.
Apart? Is that what you were doing? People are like, don't do that, men.
It was miserable. It was terrible. I could not, I can't believe
Yeah, that
people
sounds
sit
terrible.
there during the course of the game.
Mm.
So I am done. I was already here, but I am fully on board. Chop 15,000 off the capacity of that place now.
Yeah.
Right away.
Is Ben? Ben's not hanging out in the chat tonight because Ben is someone who very much does not want that to happen. He doesn't like the stadium getting smaller. I am with you.
It's got to be. I won't go. I don't know when the next time I'll go to a game is. Honestly,
really,
for that reason, it's just
yeah.
Unless there's a couple of sections you can sit in. You can sit up at the 600 level in the East Stadium. That has way more leg room, but I'm done being miserable in terms of just physically and while I'm watching the games. I'm done. So yeah, that's my thought on that. And then the other thing I was going to say is up in the club level / suite level concourse, I saw Ben Sass. So there's that.
Yeah,
with his
I guess
daughters.
he doesn't live in Florida anymore. Though shout out to the Gators. Shout out to the Gators, Jack. They got the
I was like, I wonder if you know I wonder if you knew the Gators won.
Yeah, I'm guessing he did. Yep. Jordan writes, tear it down and start over. Tear it down. Yeah, Keena. See, this is, Jack, why I brought this up too, because Keena says someone in here has a picture from those seats, and the space between the chair and the back of the one in front wasn't enough to fit a pop bottle.
I don't think I have abnormally large calves and lower legs.
Sure.
I can't. I have to sit like this. I can't get them.
Yeah, it's miserable, man.
I have to sit like this.
Yeah. And
eventually, luckily, there were enough people who left that we could spread out a little bit. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited when there were big moments of the game and people would stand up because I was way more comfortable in that situation. But
by the way,
it is really bad.
Utah misses a field goal that would have tied it. Iowa State is going to win. I don't have all of the tiebreaker scenarios in front of me, but obviously this is very good for Iowa State as they try to make it to the Big 12 championship.
There was something, it was a 4-way tie. It would be Arizona State and I can't remember. Colorado, maybe?
Was it Arizona? No, I think it actually was Arizona State and Iowa State. So
that's what it was. That was what it was.
I think they're feeling pretty good right now. So that's what's going on there. Wow.
Oh,
A&M also has the ball back now. Auburn just punted down by 3 with 2:55 to go, and there are 3 timeouts in that game. So that is what is going on there. Also, USC and UCLA has now started on NBC. So those are the games.
Mike on the super chat, was Ben Sass selling runs? No, he was just milling about. I think it was his daughters.
Thanks for the super chat, Mike. What's going on, Mike?
Thank you. Yeah, I think it was just he was up there with his daughters. His hair is really his hair has gotten really long.
Really?
Yeah,
I can see that. I guess he seems like a guy who would grow out his hair.
I sort of had a moment.
I grew out the divorce beard, and I just never got rid of it, and I'm never going to get rid of it.
I sort of had a moment where I was like, are we going to talk? Is he going to, I'm not going to approach him, but will he approach me?
Oh, yeah. Friend of the radio show.
Well, yeah, I've had him in my studio.
Does he know what you look like?
He's been in the studio with me.
In theory.
He follows me. He used to text me. He used to follow me on Twitter. Or he does. But he
follows me too.
Yeah.
So no worries.
Anyway, that's enough. See, anyway, the stadium's got to cut 15,000 to 20,000 seats now. In my opinion,
just posted the 100%. Picture from those seats, and it looks absolutely
those are the
miserable.
ones.
I don't know how anybody does that. I don't know how they allowed that to happen.
It's there. It looks like a mistake, or it feels like a mistake to me.
Yeah.
They're miserable. I'd rather be on the planks or whatever that they have in the other spots.
Yeah,
so
seriously. We haven't talked about Nebraska's defense, Jack. What did we think of Nebraska's defense as they give up 25 points? They never got home, right? They never got a single sack today, which is not a surprise. Wisconsin's
their offensive line is good. That offensive line is really good.
It's really good. They've been good all season. They really do a good job of protecting the quarterback. A couple of moments. Stumanji, I don't know if Stumanji's hanging out in here, as D'Lo writes, Gifford Wolf. Stumanji had a great stat early on in the game about Nebraska's defense under Tony White in the last handful of games. When the offense goes and scores, the defense is more apt to give up a score on the next drive. When Nebraska's offense doesn't score, the defense is more apt to not give up a score. Yeah, and it is. And it's freaking wild how that happens. Now, eventually they did get enough stops, so everything was okay. But it is very odd that does happen. And the defense, like, there was a couple times, Jack, where it seemed like tonight they were going to really just shut the door. They had that great 4th down stop where Wisconsin ran the ball for some reason, even though everyone in the stadium knew it was coming. Then they have another 4th down later in the game where they get it. And
right.
the next
Which they
play
should have got. They had a shot at it, but then
the
guy
they missed a
breaks
tackle.
away, and I think they scored right like on the next play.
The next play, they had the long touchdown pass. So, very much a mixed bag for the defense. They made some plays. The first half, especially, they made plays. They held them to field goals, and Wisconsin, I don't even think I mentioned this on Overreaction. Wisconsin missed those 2 field goals. One of them they make, but there's a delay of game, and it pushes them back, and then they missed that one. And those,
I said once at one point, I was like, they had the ball, and I was like, man, I bet they wish they had those 6 points.
Yeah.
Also, they've got to fix their 2-point conversion card because
that was very strange.
They didn't go for it when they could have made it a 2-possession game.
They scored. They're down
to
24
get it to 16,
points.
right?
Yes, and they score. And so when they score, they're down 18, and they kick the extra point. So they make a 4-score game, a 3-score game, another 3-score game.
Right. They could have got it to 16.
Yeah.
Which you 100% do in that situation.
And then Nebraska, the next drive, Nebraska gets a field goal, to which then Wisconsin scores. And so when they score, they're down 14, and then they go for 2 again. And they get it, so I guess
you get it to
To
12.
get it to 12, yeah. Whoever
Instead
wants
of 13.
to go,
but if you miss that,
it would have been 2
still
touchdowns.
14.
Yeah,
right. It was.
Yeah,
it was so bizarre. It was almost like he was trying to make up for his previous error in that. But
yeah,
it was bizarre. Man, I don't know. Fickell just feels like he
a bit in over.
Can't do math, but he's just. As much as Matt Rule is overly personalitied to the point that you're afraid it gets to used car salesman, Fickell is sort of the opposite. It's just it's this guy. This guy's got is he a tin man? No heart, really?
Nice. What do you think of this comment from Alex, who writes on the Discord server? I'm just not ready to run Tony White out of here. The last time we did this, we traded Mark Banker for Bob Diaco. For the record,
I'm not allowed to talk on these subjects anymore, or I shouldn't.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
Because I'm not quick enough to the trigger on coordinators. So
here's the thing. I don't think that he is going to get fired, and I don't think that he is getting run out of town. I think that he is just going to leave. I've been saying that though for a month and a half. And I've also said some of this is intel that I have heard, and then I've heard intel, Jack, that disagrees with the original stuff. Where there are some people who say that there are too many cooks on that defensive side of the ball. There are too many voices. John Butler, of course, is one of those new voices. And you have Tony White, and they're trying to do something a little bit different on defense this year, and it has caused them to take a step back. And then there are others who say that is BS. There is not that type of problem that is happening on that side of the ball. All that to say, though, I do think that he is going to move on. I don't think that he is going to be back. Biff writes, 2 things can be true. White might leave, but it would be moronic to fire him. I would agree 100% with that. I think he is going to leave. I guess I don't want to say who wants to fire him because everybody always wants to fire everybody. Yes. I don't think that they're going to fire him.
People want to fire him.
Yeah, people want to fire everybody.
People love firing. I mean, we don't need to go way down this again.
Right.
People freaking love firing coordinators, Josh. They love the idea of firing coordinators.
And rightfully so sometimes, Jack.
Sometimes, yes.
Including this year.
I've learned.
And hey, Jack, they wanted to run the ball better.
Let's both learn. Can we both learn?
Interesting. I like it when you're wrong. Let's all learn. When I am wrong, I guess that never happened. So I don't know.
It's a learning experience for all of us. When I'm
very
wrong.
Fascinating.
We all have things we've done wrong. We can admit that.
Interesting.
Let's come together now. Yes.
Like when Jack makes a mistake, it's the family. It's all of the Mitchell's mistake. Yeah.
Sure.
Now, if somebody else makes a mistake in your family, it's their mistake, not your mistake. You don't want to take credit for that mistake. Yeah.
I'm not sure that's true.
Huss writes, for the record, I don't want to fire him. Yeah. Adam says the disappointing thing with Butler is that the DBs have been the worst part of the defense this year.
That's true. They were rough today, man.
Jack,
But they put Bly Hill in. Like, they played Bly a lot, and he was rough today.
Yeah.
Like, with Tommy out, they played him a bunch, and, I mean, they went right at him. They went right at him when he got in there the first time, and then
the other one was Gifford's fault, though, right? The touchdown was Gifford's fault.
The play after the fourth down, they got the touchdown. That was Bly. Was that Bly on him
but
too?
Gifford was supposed to be back, if I'm understanding the play and the responsibilities correctly.
Okay. And that's one thing you're great at. So
yeah, me.
Yeah.
Wow, you triggered, bro.
Just being. So I don't know. You were explaining to me the play, so.
Oh, sorry.
That was great.
Yeah. Biff writes, Jack, here's why dipshit fans want to fire coaches. There are only 8 to 10 names to learn and easier to point a finger. Oh, that's a good point. 99% of fans can't name the starters, let alone most of the roster like us psychos. Mix in the fact that Nebraska fans don't like blaming kids, and you've got the answer. Jack, your thoughts?
Your lips to God's ears. I'm not going to comment any further on that. My thoughts on that have been made very, very, very well known. But Biff, thank you.
If you want more,
I just say thank you.
If you're a new viewer right now, first of all, like and subscribe to the I-80 YouTube channel. I realized, Jack, that I never played the little thing earlier. Like and subscribe to the I-80 Club YouTube channel. We would very much appreciate
Johnny
it.
and Ben, like and subscribe. Make sure you've done that.
If you wanted to leave a super chat, that's cool too. But also, I would recommend this. Go watch the end of last week's pod, the last 15 to 20 minutes when Jack goes on a rant against I don't know who. I mean, I guess I could probably figure out who, but it came out of nowhere. It was very interesting, and he yelled about.
I held it off for like an hour and 15 minutes, and then I got triggered. Whatever. Okay, it's over now.
Adam says that Oklahoma's storming the field. Do we want Jack? Shall we get?
Yeah, someone said on the YouTube that there was another premature storming.
Oh, Lord. Do we want to talk about storming the field? Do you have any takes on storming the field?
I mean, I definitely do, but I don't want to do a straw man thing. Is there anybody pissed about it?
Oh, what, about Oklahoma?
No.
Oh, Nebraska?
I thought you were asking me about Nebraska, right?
Oh, of course people were. Yeah, people
were
of course were pissed. Yes, of course they were.
I mean, I kind of went on the offensive before I even heard anyone complain. And I went so aggressively on the offensive as I'm wont to do that I think I might have killed the opposition before they had a chance to exist.
They're still there. They're still there. Cam writes, I saw people kind of mad. Jab says, I'm not pissed, but I don't think it was necessary. A post from Clon Dog that Dave Feich just posted. Cool, and we shouldn't have done it either. You honestly can't be sitting there going, Nebraska made a bowl because we beat a 5-6 team, and now we are 6-5, so we stormed the field. That's awesome. D'Lo, if you storm when beating Wisconsin, you can storm when beating Bama. Yeah, of course. I think you should storm whenever the hell you want to storm the field. That has always been my take.
I mean, I have strong feelings on this. Very strong feelings on this. The people who are storming the field are, and if they're still in the chat, they can explain it on YouTube. But they are 18, 19, 20 Gen Zers born 2002 to 2006 in that range.
Yeah.
College students right now. And since I've got one of them, I know what his life was as a Husker fan, that I brought him into this world, and he's a Husker fan because I said, hey, look, this is really fun. Do it with me. We'll have fun together. We'll have a lot of great times. And his earliest memories were at the end of the Bill Callahan era. His first game was the 2007 Kansas game at that point. And then the high points of his Husker life were the Jordan Westerkamp Hail Mary, I guess the Oregon win, the Michigan State wins, the 9-6 game, and the Brandon Riley one. That was it.
A small list.
And so I noticed I haven't said anything even in the last 8 years since he was older, than 11. And so like, and he will tell you, and he's on the chat right now. He had a bunch of friends. I remember when he was probably, I don't know, when he was probably 13 years old, 14 years old, that they were, I mean, like Nebraska wasn't even cool. It was
Oregon.
Yep. It was Oregon. It was just, yeah, it was. And I remember during the Oregon game, the one that was in Eugene, right? Where he was like, some of my friends are, going to, I don't remember doing what, but it was the second half of that game. And he's like, I'm going to leave. I'm not going to watch this game anymore. I'm like, I lost him, man. I lost him. And I didn't. He came back and now he's a huge fan, but like, you've got to put yourself in their shoes, right? Like they haven't ever had that chance to even like be happy and celebrate at this. So like he's on the chat right now. He said Michigan State snow game 9-6 is somehow one of the best memory in Northwestern Hail Mary. That's about it. So like they literally haven't been here before. And if that embarrasses you, I guess, like I'm trying to understand the argument. That lowers the standards and you're afraid about how that is going to look to the rest of the world. You know what? You know what lowers the standards and looks embarrassing to the rest of the world? Losing every damn game all the time.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot more.
Mm-hmm.
That is a whole lot worse. And they've been doing that over and over again. This is not, you're that worried about what that looks like to the rest of the world. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And then this is a generation where, like I said, they stuck through it when their peers weren't doing it. And they're here now and they want to celebrate. And they've got the people who are older than them in their life saying, no, this isn't it. This isn't, you're not, you might feel it, but this isn't big enough for you to feel this way. Well, how are they supposed to know, Josh? How are they supposed to know? When you watch on TV, you watch other games on TV, you watch college basketball, you've been to Nebraska basketball games where you storm the floor and it's fine. Yep. And it's great and it's celebrated. You watch other games, you watch other schools who are, I can't, what's a good example? I don't know. Somebody puts in, Oklahoma or whatever. You see it on TV and they're all doing it. You're like, wait, we can't do this because of what happened in the 90s?
1995.
10 years before I was born.
Yeah.
And you know what Johnny said to me too? Like I tweeted a picture and he talked to James Williams after the game, took a picture with him. And he was like, the players were so excited that we did it. The players were so excited. And here we are having a freaking stress attack at the end of every year that that Corey Barney is going to want to leave. That Dylan Raiola is going to want to leave. And we get their peers celebrating them on the field. And we're like, nope, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's too far. Yet the players love it. The students love it. And we're worried about how it reflects on us, the old generation who brought all these kids and players into this thing. It's embarrassing. Like embarrassing if you didn't like it. If there's any of you who didn't like it in the chat, I disagree with you more than I've disagreed with you on anything before. It's so stupid.
Wait, is that true?
So stupid.
You disagree with them on this more than you did about like blaming coaches and talking about firing people?
100%. This is the worst thing you can do to stunt this program's growth. Mm. What a horrendous take. What a freaking horrendous take. And also, where in the F have you been for the last 15 years? To be like, oh, well, it's not enough success for us, right?
Yeah.
This is we've now embarrassed ourselves. Come on.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It is terrible. And so shout out at this point. Yeah, Johnny says on the tweet, he said, or on the chat, he says, I've stormed the court field 4 times since going to college. All 4 are my favorite moments of my collegiate career. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's funny too, because, and D'Lo says it ain't beneath us. Like, I think that every now and then something happens with Nebraska football that reminds me of like their current status and their current state in things. And there are some folks, Jack, that it's just like, for whatever reason, the last 8 years, they have allowed themselves to be angry and mad about everything that's happening on
right,
the field.
exactly. Like, what the hell is ever going to make you happy?
And then when they get the celebration and they get the moment, they're mad about the celebration. They're mad about the way in which people want to show their happiness as Auburn's about to drive.
You're curmudgeons. You are curmudgeons. There's nothing that will ever make you happy.
Yeah.
Like, all you do is complain about the coordinators and everything that's gone wrong, and then it goes really right for one day, or right enough for one day. You complain about season after season of no bowl game and how embarrassing it is, but you can't celebrate it too much. The thing you said we had to have, you can't celebrate it too much.
Also, Jack, you said it. So if you're in college, you're 18 to 22-ish. What are the moments? How many of us in here, I'm 36. If you're my age and older, dude, you've got 90s stuff to look back on. If you're my age and maybe a little bit younger, you probably got a little late 90s action, and you got early 2000s. Maybe you remember, stunts to crouch. Suddenly then you start getting 5 years younger than me, and I just go, okay. So the first full year I remember is 97. You're 5 years younger than me, and it's exactly like that. Your first full year might be 2022 or 2002 rather. You're 10 years younger than me. Your first year is 2007. Cam just posted, I'm 24, so I 100% get it. It's rough, man. If Cam started watching football the first full season like I did at the same age, that means his first year would have been 2009. Certainly a memorable year. Of a year filled with heartbreak, like many. Yeah, he says, I can remember Sue. So he remembers Sue. But after that, what do you got? What else do you have after that? I remember going to college, and I think I've told this story before. I remember walking on campus in 2007 before the USC game, and I was behind a couple of players that were on the team, and they were having a conversation about, do you think that they'll storm the field? Do you think the student and one of the players was like, hell yeah, they will. That place is going to be nuts if we win against USC. And I remember thinking like, wow, I could get to storm the field. I've always wanted to be a part of a moment like this. And of course it didn't happen, and it took 17 more years, and it took winning over Colorado to actually make it happen. And like today, you know what, Jack, I'll say this too. The Colorado game and storming, it felt so forced in a way, even though I was totally fine with it, because it became this discussion point online where everyone was talking about it. Everyone was talking about it to the point where when it happened, it was like this kind of weird, like hodgepodging of students coming on. Today felt so organic, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. I didn't even expect
it at all.
Yeah, like at one point there's like a minute to go, and they show the student section, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there are a lot of students that are waiting on the field right now, and I guess they're going to run on the field. And sure enough, they did, and it made for some great photos afterwards.
All that can do is positive. What is the downside? Please tell me. Someone explain it to me. What is the downside? I can't figure it out. I can figure the upside. You make great memories for a younger generation of fan. Their enthusiasm. The team likes it. I promise they liked it as well. YouTube comment, BA Coaches Show says, I'm 24. I was a junior in high school the last time we had a bowl. It's worth celebrating. I teared up.
Wow.
There was a point, Josh, and there probably still is a point where we're like, have we lost an entire generation of fans? Like, is it never going to carry on like it did for us? Yeah. And then we freaking piss on them when they want to embrace it in their way.
Yeah.
Like, screw you. You're going to kill.
Is that you?
Yeah, that was my Alexa. You're going to absolutely kill the enthusiasm of the younger generation. Just like move on, man. Holy cow. Whatever. Cool. And if you're if people are just don't like storming for the fact of it, no matter who it is or when it is, fine. That's a different discussion altogether. But like, yeah, Dilo says, who are we mad at right now? I'm lost. Okay, I said that's why I did. Good Lord. I did this disclaimer 8 minutes ago, D'Lo. I hope you were there for that. Josh asked me the question. Damn it. Josh asked me the question.
No, I thought, hey, you're fine. That was a good conversation.
I mean, well, here's D'Lo being like, well, you're fighting a straw man now. Well, D'Lo, I did this. I was like, right away, I was like, did anyone critique it? And you all told me a whole bunch of people did. So that's who.
Oh, he's mad at me again.
Yeah, for sure.
I
agreed with you on the topic. And by the way, D'Lo, me, fight, I formation, maybe. Like, there's only a few of us in this watching this or a part of this that are old enough to be gatekeepers of this thing.
Yeah, and you guys are old as hell.
Like,
Keenan says less talky, more drinky. Let's talk about this then, Jack. Unless there was anything else.
What does that even mean?
It means that I have an old fashioned right now. So and I'm getting criticized for not drinking all of the champagne.
I got a second. I do have a second.
Yeah, nice.
Back in where's my bowl? Where's my bowl? Okay.
By the way, if you're just joining us inside of the I-80 Club, welcome. Josh Peterson, Jack Mitchell with you. We do pods multiple times a week. If you're wondering, where are all these? Jack, what did you do with those cans? Every single time you open one of them, it's spilling all over the place. Are you shaking them up over there? Auburn, by the way, kicking a field goal that would tie the game and force overtime.
Oh, it's all over. Oh, God. It's all over it. You know what?
What?
Got a rag.
There you go. That's why Jack
I spill things so often that I actually have
have a podcast rag.
I do. I have a
podcast rag. If you're wondering, hey, where are all of these comments coming from? They're coming from inside of our Discord server. You can join that by going to patreon.com/I80 Club. D'Lo writes, Josh, you promised some bull inside information. Yeah. Biff,
great
I do
point,
want to read
D'Lo. I'm not mad at you anymore. Great job.
Biff says, Jack mad at D'Lo. Jack saying Biff is right. It's a tale as old as time.
Biff is always right, Kyle.
Yeah.
You know what? And I miss you. Pass the damn ball. R.I.P. Pass the damn ball. Man, he always agreed with me, too. I hate when we lose Jack, like, general agreeers from the club.
Yeah, I always love how you pretend that no one in the world agrees with you, and yet there are many who do.
Pass the damn ball went away. Now, I didn't say that when Husker for MU left. No offense. He disagreed.
When did pass the damn ball go away? Man, I mean, I realized
he said he was taking a break.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably one of the ones in our that left and said something like the Huskers are bad for my mental health or whatever it was. Yeah. Chuck says he came back. Yeah, it was nice. Husker for MU is back.
Husker for MU came back.
Yeah, I knew that he was back, but I forgot about pass the damn ball.
Pass the damn ball.
Jabs, R.I.P. Oliver. I bet, Jack, you think Oliver's watching the YouTube chat right now? Do you want to say anything to Oliver?
Oliver follows me on Blue Sky. He might be here. Oliver, say something on the chat if you're here, man.
What's going on, Oliver?
Oliver, by the way, I was totally right about the Mickey Joseph Iowa game. Just FYI. We can bury the hatchet, but I was right. You were wrong. That's it.
Chuck, boom roasted with what I'm not going to read what Chuck said, but it was very, very funny. All right. Bull inside information, Jack. So I was having a conversation with somebody a little bit earlier.
Were they wearing an orange coat or a red coat?
No, I had overreaction. Okay. I had overreaction. So I didn't do that. So I sent out a tweet a little bit ago because my wife, Riss, over in the other room, who just made me this drink. Shout out to her as Texas A&M. They better not return
making you drinks and bringing them in.
Yeah, she's pretty great. So she texted me. She's like, "Hey, are you having dinner there?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Okay, what do we want to have?" And we were going back and forth. She said, "What if we did Little Caesars for the bit?" And I said, "That's a hilarious idea. I'm down with it." So she ordered pizza. I picked it up on the way home. We actually didn't do the hot and ready. We did the Detroit style, and of course, we did some crazy bread. So I tweeted out a photo of the pizza as a bit. It was a bit, and I just said, thinking about Detroit. I got a message, Jack, from someone I trust very, very much, who told me, been told that Nebraska is not, or maybe I should do the Borat voice, they're not going to Detroit. Been told Nebraska is not going to Detroit.
Okay.
So because of the way in which the Bull tie-ins work, it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So this person says Nebraska will be a very popular week. A win next week, and I'm told Tampa and Orlando are very much in
Florida,
play.
baby.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm checking airfares. If it's Florida, I'm legit checking airfares.
So I asked John to send me the bowl tie-ins and when these games are played.
You asked John to send them to you?
Because John had the list of the
Did you not have the internet at that time? Or
okay, Jack, I want you right now. I want you to search Big Ten Bowl tie-ins, and I want you to realize how difficult it is because I wanted all the information. Who is the opponent, when the game is played, and what time it kicks off. You'll be surprised at how annoying it is to find a story that has all of the info that you need. Because we did this on a crossover at one point in time, and it was a huge pain in the ass to the point where I actually wrote it all out, and then John just forwarded me my own email from October 18th, 2024. How's that search going for you there, Jack? I bet you're struggling right now. The Big
Ten alternates with the SEC, the Las Vegas and Dukes Mayo Bowl.
What time? Hey, when is that game and what time is it? Does it have that information
the expected Big Ten Bowl pecking order is Cheez-It versus SEC, ReliaQuest versus SEC, Dukes Mayo versus ACC.
You're not giving me the information I wanted.
What are you asking me?
I want all the information. I want what time is the game? What day is the game? When does it kick off? Because
okay,
Jack,
that's like a question my mom would ask me. Like, what channel's the game on?
Unreal,
Jeez.
Jack. I'm trying to give our subscribers great content of maybe a bowl watch along, and you are over here being an a-hole. By the way, your son asked, "Dad, can we please make the trip? Merry Christmas to the Jack Mitchell family."
Yeah, but we're taking back all your presents.
Oh my gosh, Dave, is that true? Is that like actually dead? Did you see what Dave Fight just posted? Like actually dead? Yikes! I don't know what that's about. All right. Anyway, Jack.
Yeah. Let's not
okay.
do that.
So the artist formerly known as the Little Caesars Bowl, which apparently Nebraska will not be playing in.
That's the Detroit Bowl for those who don't know.
It's Thursday, December the 26th at 1:00. That is versus the MAC. Thank God, honestly. It'd be funny for the bit, but that would suck ass. So
no, it would be terrible. Right? And I don't. When is that game?
That's Thursday, the 26th. Yeah. See, isn't this excellent information, Jack? That I just gave you. You wanted to know what you literally just asked the question that you gave me shit for 5 seconds ago.
But you acted like it wasn't available on the internet, which is what confused me.
The issue is just go search for it. You have to
go
to
3 different websites.
Game
on?
Oh my god!
It says it's FS1, and
you suck so much sometimes.
Have that?
You're the absolute worst. Okay, by the way, the thing that Dave posted, the person that he mentioned is not actually dead. It was a bit about what channel is the game on. All right, my bad, Dave. I totally missed it. I totally forgotten about that joke. Yes. Anyway, so here's the next bowl: Rate Bowl versus the Big 12. Also the same day, Jack.
It used to be the guaranteed rate bowl, and now it's just the rate.
They dropped the guaranteed. It is no longer guaranteed. It is just rate. That one is
really enunciate when you say the name of that bowl, by the way.
Excellent point. That game is on.
Want to check the rate bowl?
It's like Always Sunny. You got to pay the troll toll to get into this boy's soul. You got to pay the troll toll to get in. That is also the day after Christmas on December the 26th. This game would kick off locally in our time zone at 4:30. It is against the Big 12.
I want a night game. Okay, I want a night game.
All right, let's move
on.
Warm
weather. I want a night game.
Now, the person that I was talking to did not mention this next game, and this was the Pinstripe Bowl versus the ACC, which is I know. That is Saturday at 11 a.m.
Oh,
28th. Yeah. So you're out on this one. All right, now, Jack, we probably get into bowls that are a little more likely. The Music City Bowl versus the SEC. Monday, December the 30th at 1:30 p.m. See, if you and I are going to do a watch party, we can't do it that day because I have to do a show. I have to work. So that would stink for us. We wouldn't be able to do that.
On what? For which day?
Hey, you're not even paying attention. You're just typing over there. That was Monday, December the 30th.
Jabs was making... whatever. Okay, anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're ignoring me again. Music City Bowl, that was versus the SEC on Monday, December the 30th at 1:30 p.m. That's a bummer because you and I couldn't do a watch party. Jack and I have kicked the tires on doing a watch party. We can't do one if it's at 1:30 p.m. on Monday the 30th. Jack, could we do a watch party if it is New Year's Eve, December 31st at 11 a.m. on Tuesday, December the 31st, the ReliaQuest Bowl versus the SEC?
Where's that at?
I'm trying to remember which bowl that is because You know what's annoying is these games have changed. This is the one in Tampa.
Is there a
This
place
used
you
to be
can find any of the information on these
I
bulls?
am literally.
Do you have to call them? Do you have to call the offices?
You suck so much. I'm literally telling you right now. This is the artist formerly known as the Outback Bowl. Jack, would you want to do a watch
Tampa
party?
then?
Yes, that's what I was saying to you.
Well, then I think I want to go to it then.
Okay. Riz says you're working that week. I'm not working the week of Christmas, but I'm going to go to work the next week, Jack. I am working on December 30th, and then I will also then have December 31st and New Year's Day off. So it'll be a very weird time. It's going to be such a strange time in all of our lives. Let's see. Citrus Bowl, also New Year's Eve, also versus the SEC. This one is on December the 31st, Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then finally the Mayo Bowl versus the ACC on Friday night, January the 3rd. So it seems like, Jack, seems like because there's an expectation, and the person that I was talking with earlier told me that there's an expectation of many, many, many thousands of Husker fans going, regardless of record, that they are going to get propped up above a lot of these other bowl games just because people are going to expect.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
If you have a team that hasn't been there for so long, and it's about not necessarily just like you said, record and making money, there'll be a ton of people who want to go. So, yeah, Jab said, I think there were ReliQuest Bowl reps there tonight.
Yeah, Aaron Sorensen tweeted about that. Yeah, I saw that earlier too. So yeah, that's what's going on.
I like that one. I like that one a lot.
It seems like Nebraska is going to get propped up because there is going to be a large.
Who's that against?
The ReliQuest?
Yeah.
That is SEC. So basically all of those games, it's 3 SEC, it's 2 ACC, or it's 1 Big 12. So what are you rooting for then, Jack, of that? Because you said you want night games. I only gave one night game.
ReliQuest is New Year's Eve too. Wow.
Yeah, I said.
I was reading the chat. I don't know what. Okay. We got it. I missed it. I was reading the chat. I was looking things up. We get it. But
the Mayo Bowl. That's the only night game, by the way. The Mayo Bowl, the Duke's Mayo Bowl was the only.
And where's that at?
That's the one in Charlotte.
Charlotte?
Yeah.
I don't know about Charlotte.
Yeah, you wouldn't travel to Charlotte.
But you're right. That's interesting because that one's way later.
Yeah,
January
6:30. Yeah, dude, that's the one that for the record, I want the Mayonnaise Bowl. I want the Mayo Bowl. I think it'd be best for my job. So that's the one that I want. Also, in theory,
Matt Rule might get covered with mayo if you would.
Plus, it'd be funny for a bit with John. We could pour mayonnaise on him. I mean, we could have a whole lot of fun.
He hates mayonnaise.
Yes. What do you think, Jack? If we did that, what if I told John, hey, let's do our Friday show from Lincoln, and then I come over and you and I from your downstairs living room, we watch the Mayonnaise Bowl together and we stream it live for everyone to watch on YouTube at youtube.com/@I-80 Club. Doesn't that just sound like a glorious night?
Dude, I mean, if I can't get there, yes. Yes, 100%. It'd be great. Like last night, I think kind of set maybe a new standard, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Griswold said watch party for sure. Mark says excellent. Many are saying that they want this very, very badly. So there you go. So that's what we have going on.
I'm excited to look at all of the bowl projections tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they're going to be back in them. How great is this? God, how great is this?
Well, I'm sad we only have 1 week to really get excited about that. I wouldn't even look at them in the previous weeks, but I will now.
Yeah.
You know what we haven't even talked about, Josh?
The rest of the day of college football?
No. Iowa week. It's Iowa week.
Yeah, by the way, real quick, before we get into that for a few minutes, next week the plan is going to be this. Tuesday night pod for patrons only at 8 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. That will be for patrons only. And then we'll be doing a Friday morning Black Friday show. I'll be at a Airbnb in Denver somewhere, and Jack will be at home. And then we're going to do a free-for-all on Saturday morning doing our reaction to the Nebraska-Iowa game. D'Lo writes, who's going to Iowa City? Raider Scott says Cade McNamara not playing. Yeah, this will be interesting. I do, Jack, man.
Is that true? He said he might, right?
Yeah. Let me, oh my gosh.
And they won today, right?
Yes, Iowa did win. Let me throw this at you to kick off the conversation, and we'll get into this a little bit more next week. Nebraska has now locked up the bowl berth. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? They won 44
Yeah, I
to
actually
25.
did.
They beat Wisconsin by 19 points. They scored 44. We should talk about this more, that they scored 44 points on Wisconsin. Jack,
I
do you
think we
think
hit it pretty good.
do you think they're actually able to play a little bit looser for like once now, that like the pressure is finally, like, how about the question that Matt Rule got asked at today's press conference? I you know what? That's another one I have written down. He was asked, I think it was Sam, and it was something like, do you feel like you can breathe easier again? Let's see.
He said, is there relief? And he was like, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it was. Is there relief? And he said, yes, 100%. So do you think that they're able to apply that relief to the Iowa game on Friday evening?
Yeah. No, they need to win that game.
Good take.
They need. I'll say this right now. I will be sorely disappointed if they go in there and lose that game.
Yeah, if they finish 6-6.
Yep. And the crazy thing, Josh, if they do win it, my prediction for the year was 7-5.
Mm-hmm,
and I kept saying, and I was like, but I was saying, like, whether or not that's a good year depends on what happens against Iowa and Wisconsin and Colorado. Could they win those? Like, if you would have given that to me at the beginning of the season, I've been like, you win those 3 games and you're 7-5, I probably would have taken it, which is insane after all this.
Hey, how many of those poll questions do we do every offseason where it's like, I'll guarantee you X, Y, and Z? Real quick, D'Lo says, I think they are 6 to 7 point dogs. No, they are not. They will not be
2 to 3, right?
Yes, they will not be a touchdown underdog. No fucking way they will be a touchdown underdog in this game. Absolutely not. It'll be 3 points at most, in my opinion. Now watch, I'll be wrong.
2.5, 3.5, right?
But I'm saying 3. Happer and I did this on Overreaction.
Kinnigan Knight sucks.
Josh, D'Lo, dude,
it's not that.
Go look at the line last year. What was Iowa's record going into that game? What was Nebraska's record going into that game? Nebraska was favored against Iowa last year. What are we talking about?
Now. Hold on, this might be out right now.
They. I looked earlier and it was not available yet. I will check right now though, because if anyone has it, all right, I have the line. Everyone, get your bets in right now.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's 2.5 or 3.5.
Okay. So Josh says, what did Josh say? He said 6 to 7. Everyone, get your bets in. Get your bets in.
If Nebraska's getting 7, I will take that.
All right, I'm going to give people a few more seconds. JP gives us the money line, -121. I'll be in Vegas tomorrow. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this, Jack? I'm going to Vegas tomorrow.
Yeah, Josh, I heard you complaining about the difficulty of your life.
Betting on bets, so meta. I think I might have to bet on this game. I think I might have to bet on Nebraska. All right, I'm giving people a couple more seconds, and then I'm posting it. All right, 3.5 says Jabs, Iowa. Furls, Iowa -2.5. Biss, -1.5. Go Sox, Iowa -2.5.
PTF Nebraska -2.
I formation says Iowa -4. And D'Lo had posted it. D'Lo, boo! It is indeed Iowa -4.5. So D'Lo was not right. Okay. I was not right.
None of us were right.
If Circa has a line that is money line +162 adjacent, I think I might have to put a few dollars down on that. Anyway,
I would. I want to see what they look like when the pressure is off.
I know, me too.
It's just finally freaking about the opponent and beating the opponent.
It really is. The focus.
It's not inward, it's outward.
Yes.
This is the first. Honestly, it's the first freaking true outward game Nebraska's played since I don't know when. Colorado.
Yeah. This is going to be the first time now that they can go into a game and just like actually play loose. By the way, how about this tweet from some guy named Dave Sittler? I don't know who this man is, but I like this person because this tweet says, an OU Nebraska bowl game would wake up the echoes of so many wonderful memories on both sides. It's almost guaranteed to sell out and draw bigger TV ratings than most bowls this season. Jack, can we make this happen? Nebraska versus Oklahoma. Can you imagine the Tom Chattel columns? The Skywriters tour is back. Jack,
Josh, I can beat that.
It was a rivalry that was built on respect.
Josh.
Iowa, you could learn something from Oklahoma and Nebraska. You know what happened when Oklahoma beat Nebraska in the 70s with Sooner Magic? They didn't blow kisses. They went to the 50-yard line, and they shook Nebraska's hand.
Because they respected him.
They said, hey, good game, Nebraska.
Hardcore respect.
You know what happened? Nebraska actually stormed the field in honor of Oklahoma. They said, we will storm the field respectfully because we respect you, okay. Oklahoma.
I don't need your...
Remember the time when you and John said a cuss word on unsportsmanlike conduct for the first time ever because you were talking about
I'm so tired of people whitewashing what living through that actually was. Dude, and all that just complete bullshit people make up about that. I'm tired of it.
It's not as bad. Rich just came in to take the champagne. It's not as bad as what they're doing to the curriculum in southern states about the Civil War, but it's pretty bad how people change what happened in the Nebraska-Oklahoma rivalry of the 70s and the 80s. It's pretty bad, Jack.
I want Tom Chattel, when he's talking about all the
Should we get him on the pod?
I want him to interview 9-year-old me, and let's see what kind of respect I had.
Oh.
And the things I thought about Oklahoma. But Josh, Dave said it. Imagine in this failure of a season beating Colorado, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Oklahoma all in the same season.
What do you think about this? Alex says Florida would be cool. That'd be pretty tight.
Florida. Well, I was going to say if it's Oklahoma, here's another amazing scenario. What?
David says they've gotten rid of critical rivalry theory.
It's true. It's true, man. It sucks.
Everything
was nice. Nothing was bad. Everything was nice. We all kind of enjoyed it. We liked each other. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of the whitewashing.
Oh my gosh. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
What I was gonna say is here's an even better scenario if they play Oklahoma. Jackson Arnold decides, I'm not going to play the bowl game. Whoever the hell their backup is, I don't know. That guy is injured or doesn't play. Oh, who's their third string quarterback? Oklahoma's? Oh, is that? I can't see. Is that an 11 on that jersey? Is that?
Oh, good Lord!
Is that CT 11?
Oh no, not again. Not again. Oh my gosh.
Would that be who would I even cheer for in that scenario? Just kidding.
Oklahoma, because you respect them. Oh my gosh. Well, Jack, shall we say goodbye for
Oh my gosh, is it 10:30?
For the night? It's already 10:30.
Who's going to sit out all these games? Is Nebraska going to have any sit-outs?
Dude, hey, that is a sneaky, fascinating part of Nebraska making a bowl game because they now make a bowl game for the first time in the opt-out era. And, Jack, the transfer portal era. They make a bowl game. So much of the roster is going to be gone. And I cannot wait. Look, I love Sipple. I cannot wait for Sipple's column where he is just like, tisk, tisk, tisk. How could you do this? You have earned a bowl game for the first time in so many years, and you're not participating. It's going to be great. Many people mentioning Thomas Fedoni already. Yeah, I didn't say it, Thomas.
There's no way
Fedoni will play. Said it, Thomas.
There's no way Fedoni will play. Ty Robinson, I hope will play. I don't know.
Yeah.
The other NFL guy. Who are the other NFL guys?
Hey, you know what? Honestly,
Tommy Hill, I don't know.
Hey,
by the way, Turner Corcoran didn't walk today. He's back next year. Turner Corcoran's coming back.
Cool. Hey, in all seriousness, that is something that maybe you appreciate a little bit more against Iowa on Friday. Just go in thinking this might be the last game for a lot of guys, and enjoy it. Or say, thank God this is the last game for this player that I am excited not to have to watch.
There's a few. But
God. All right. We are back on Tuesday. So here's what we got coming up over the next week and change. Tuesday, we're not doing a Wednesday pod because it is the night before Thanksgiving. Go have fun with your family. Go have fun with your friends. Jack, I'm gonna go to the to MGM Arena and I'm gonna watch Creighton probably lose. I guess I don't even know what's going on, so I'll be doing that with Happer.
Oh yeah,
Wednesday.
you guys are. How long? You're there till Wednesday?
I'm leaving Thanksgiving morning. I'm going to Denver on Thanksgiving morning.
You're in Vegas from tomorrow till Thursday morning?
Yeah. How much cash should I take, everybody? Let me know in the chat. Leave that number in the chat for me. And hey, let's get some super chats real fast and leave me some money for Vegas so I can do some gambling. Anyway, so we are not doing a Wednesday pod, but we are doing a risk. $0. Mickey says 1,000. Honey, what do you think about that? $1,000
go to
in
the
cash?
Mandarin has penny slots on the
Okay,
strip.
see, I'm not you, Jack. I don't do penny slots.
Mandarin has penny slots and they'll bring you free drinks, Josh.
Table games, and I want to bet on some games. If anyone wants to Venmo me at Josh Tweederson, Venmo me, and I will use that money responsibly in Las Vegas. I will use it I don't like slots. What are you talking about? Penny slots?
Here's the thing. You don't lose a lot of money. You go to the Mandarin. The waitresses are very nice. They'll bring you free drinks throughout the course of your time with the penny slots. You don't lose or win. I'm just trying to help you, like, financially.
Chuck says take the super chat funds from the weekend. Yeah, we did get some super chat funds from the weekend.
Half mine.
Biff says $1,000. Biff, you are my financial advisor, so if you just want to dump that into my I guess
the other thing I say is go over to the plaza, go to the plaza and play $5 blackjack.
I don't know. I know how to play it. I'm a craps guy. I'm going to play crap. Do they have $5 craps?
You don't want to play blackjack?
I mean, I understand. It's about 21.
You lose all your money immediately. Blackjack, there's just blackjack. Come on.
What are you talking about? Dude, last summer, I'm a $10, $15 bettor on craps. I won $1,000 in my
What do you do? Just put money on the pass line, or what do you do?
No, I actually know how to. So I understand things. I know.
So okay. Take it easy, Rain Man. Jeez.
Yeah. No, you're thinking of blackjack again. He didn't play craps.
He would have been good at craps. That's what I'm saying.
He probably would have. Sorry that I'm really, really good at things. Venmo at Josh Tweederson if you want to help me out. Anyway, Tuesday night pod, 7:00. We're gonna do that one. So we'll talk some Nebraska, Iowa. No pod Wednesday, no pod Thanksgiving. We will do a Black Friday pod on Friday morning. That one will start at 9:30. So right, Jack, usual time, 9:30.
9:30 Friday, 9:30 Saturday, both.
Yes.
Right?
So we'll do 9:30 both days. Friday, patrons only. Saturday will be free on YouTube. So if you are hanging out with us tonight and you're saying, this is really weird, but also fun, and I would like to join it, we would love to have you at patreon.com/I-80 Club.
What do you think about this on Saturday morning with a different
A&M lost.
You missed it.
Won. See you later,
Suck it, Trev.
Oh, wait, never mind. That was a replay. Damn it.
Oh,
I thought that was live.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Come on, Trev. Trev, this is you. Trev, CJ Wilcher. Sorry.
All right, I'm not looking at the chat. I don't want to be spoiled just in case because I'm watching on YouTube TV. We'll stay on.
Is he lining up right now? Is he looking down? He looked up.
Yeah. Oh, I think you're ahead of me.
Here.
Yeah.
He is. He just used his hand and did that thing.
All right, so you're ahead of me.
Stepping left. I won't spoil it.
All right, for me, he is just about to kick it. I'll tell you, they snapped it.
Oh, you're ahead of me then. So don't say anything till he kicked it now. All right, let's keep playing. Got more football.
All right, so we'll be on Saturday, and that one will be free on YouTube at youtube.com/I-80 Club. And then finally, next Sunday, Jack, you, Bigelow, and Caleb are going to be back on the pod. Probably not not as
won't be
fun.
as exciting as last. North Florida, though, they were getting votes, right, for a while.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, so after Nebraska ball, that will be next
and I bet
next Sunday.
So I think there's a chance you could put Michigan State.
We're doing the Michigan State game now, too?
Well, I haven't confirmed, but.
Okay. All right. Perfect. And then finally, go check out all the stuff that we have done this weekend. Jack and I had a just amazing time last night doing the watch party for the Nebraska Creighton game. I think it would be a hilarious listen after.
Well, we have 92 people watching now. We had like 200 people watching.
It was pretty awesome. And then we also did I wasn't involved, but we did an after Nebraska ball post-game show. that you can check out over there as well. Jack, a text that I just received from one of our subscribers. Jack being drunk is the best. Incredible weekend. So there you go. Many are saying.
Great party last night. A lot of fun.
All right, we're going to log off. I'm going to see if anybody Venmoed me money for Vegas, and I'm going to get ready for bed. I got to pack. No, I don't have to pack. I'm done packing. All right. He's Jack. I'm Josh. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I-80 Club After Dark. Nebraska's going to a bowl game. See you later.